live session of dropshipping news, and today problem, but we're back. So as always, we have here Maor Amar with us, and my name is Igal, and we will talk about several topics that we had that we found relevant for this week. As always, you can ask us questions, you can post in the comments below, and I think without further ado, let's begin. Oh, and just before that, we now did some improvement with our sound, hopefully. So let us know if you hear us okay. If not, then we'll have some other solutions. But for now, I think we'll be good. So that's it for that. So let's go on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait a little bit for other guys to join in and also give us a little bit feedback regarding the sound.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk in general. Maybe I think that maybe we should start by talking about a little bit about the news of this week. So I think that one of the greatest topics of this last week is of course Amazon closing multiple accounts, and we're gonna touch regarding this issue a little bit, and I'm gonna give a few advices. And I'm guessing that this will be like the biggest topic of this week. We also have some more news, so Igal, maybe you wanna share with us?
Sure. So, by the way, we also have the Prime Day. That also reminds me what you just said. So we'll talk about that a bit later. But if we're talking about Amazon in general, then there are some news regarding their employees. So they have a plan that will go within 6 years. So it will start probably this year by the end of it, and up until 2025, and they're going to retrain 100,000 of their employees from current jobs, and this means basically jobs in the warehouses, fulfillment jobs, logistics, also trucking and stuff like that. And the reason that they do it is because there's so much automation. You know that they have these robots and all these technologies that basically don't need any humans to catalog and to move stuff from place to place. So they see that this trend is only going to be more and more strong in the next couple of years. And it means that whether we would like it or not, many people will not be able to use these jobs. So instead, what they're going to do, and this is voluntary, so they don't say, oh, you either do it or not, but basically they're saying that if you want, you can start to find something more like advanced stuff, like that's more related maybe to development or to engineering, rather than the current jobs that probably are going to go slowly but surely extinct.
Yeah, so I think that one of the biggest problems that every big company or enterprise such as Amazon is trying to solve is of course all the logistics issues and stuff like that. I have to say that I really enjoy, or at least I think it's one of the best ideas that a corporate has come with, is actually an idea that came from Walmart. So Walmart says, we have 1.5 million employees in America. That means that like in every big neighborhood in United States, there is a Walmart center. So that means that many people are going to Walmart and many employees are being employed over there. And Walmart says we have issues with logistics and technology. That means that we need to be or find a solution such as Amazon, because we need to figure out exactly how to deal with all the inventory and how to send them into the stores and how to ship them to the items that has been sold online. So Walmart came up with an idea: why not take like all the employees that we have, and instead of ship the item through carrier such as UPS, DHL, or stuff like that, maybe we can take the employee itself, and once he's driving home, maybe he can drop a few packages at his neighbors or places that people are actually
Nearby.
it's nearby. And this way they can reward the employee and pay him for extra time, and they can provide a very good service. And I think that I like this approach because it's more a human approach. It thinks about the employees instead of thinking about robots. It thinks about how to utilize better the employee instead of think about how to utilize more machines. So I like the idea, but anyway, we of course don't have any influence regarding that. But I hope that the idea that will win will actually be the idea of Walmart regarding that.
Yeah, you know, I also want to be hopeful and hope that Walmart will win on this approach. But I think, unfortunately, that like in 5, 7, 10 years, robots will be so much more cheaper to work with, and they can work 24/7. And as we can see, these bots that are flying now, the drones that they can deliver like in 30 minutes. They do pilots in UK pilot programs with that. But yeah, and I think, well, the bottom line for us and for our customers is that I guess everything will be much shorter, much more competitive. Like other companies that or other sources would never be able to compete with such quick times when everything is automated.
Yeah. Well, this was a fun topic, I think.
Yeah.
But let's dive into a non-nice topic, which is closed Amazon accounts.
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, closed Amazon accounts are being a very big issue for guys that actually doing all the buying stuff for dropshipping, and they close accounts actually with not understandable reason. So that means that first of all, Amazon is always asking us to provide them with a proof of address or a proof of credit card, billing, full name, phone number, and of course the gift cards. So receipts, yeah. So I think that first of all, everyone is actually suffering from this these days. But I want to give you first or a few tips at least regarding how to avoid this, or at least try to avoid this. And second, I'm gonna give you another insight, and this is an insight from a guy that has been doing dropshipping for many years, which is me. And I can tell you that in 2011, 2012, actually that was one of the let's say the dropshipping killers. So every account that you were opening and doing a Prime, we were getting like many emails from Amazon. We used to call them the pie emails because it came from pie at Amazon.com. I don't know if
PAI, yeah.
PAI, yeah.
Yeah.
So the pie emails was actually emails that was saying that we are doing abuse of the Prime benefits, and they actually were canceling the Prime, and then if you continue with this, they will probably doing also
Close the account.
Yeah, close the account. And we lost many accounts, and it came to a point where I can tell you that me and my friends, at least in those days, we weren't many of them. We actually thought that this is the end of this business, and that's it. There is no solution for that. And then along came like the Amazon student, and I can tell you that it was lasting longer, and it was a very good solution, because instead of having multiple Amazon regular accounts, we were using Prime students with 6 months Prime and so on and so on.
And they were more forgiving, yeah? You can put more orders before they start doing this.
So I can tell you guys that just in general, and this is something that you can take from here, it's not the end of nothing. It's like saying that Amazon is being strict or more strict in those days. But anyway, there are a lot of ways to overcome it, and we will go through this. And the second thing that I want to say is it's related also to Prime Day and the upcoming holidays. So the Prime Day is actually happening today and tomorrow. It's not one day, it's 48 hours of sales. And I can tell you that since Amazon was crashing last year for 2 hours, that's millions. Think about it. Even more than millions of dollars being lost. So think about that. What Amazon is actually doing is doing like a cleanup. They try to make sure that this time it will stand longer. So last year their approach was, let's do a captcha. You guys of course know what captcha is. Captcha is like the letters that you need to type in once you are logging in, or if you have issues with the login. So they added a captcha on almost every page in order to avoid all kinds of robots. So just so you know, Amazon is trying to have the Prime Day with a very, very attractive pricing, but they don't want us, the dropshippers, to use those pricing. They want other customers, such as US guys that actually are a real customer, not related to dropshipping at all. So they don't want us to take advantage on that, and one of the reasons for doing that is actually doing the accounts closure. So anyway, I can tell you guys that the Prime Day will be over and the holidays will be over, and things will get calmer and will get to normal, and this is I think one of the reasons. Second reason is that I think that we mentioned this before in the past, people using discounted gift cards, and of course because I'm selling gift cards I don't want to sound biased again, but anyway I can tell you guys, check the source. I don't care from who you source your gift cards from, but at least know the truth, and this is one of them. So people that are using discounted cards, they are coming from a non-legit place, and this is one of the reasons. Third is of course tax exempt. So I want to say guys, tax exempt is of course a very good way to make more profit, or at least to pay less for the product that you are buying, if it's Amazon or other supplier that actually add the tax on the checkout on Amazon. But the problem with tax exempt is that, think about it, like, do you think guys that United States of America will try or want to lose taxes? Of course not. It's not something that is logical. So what the tax exempt means, they are giving people that are doing like us, reselling, something that is called a resale certificate. So in order to get a resale certificate, a real one, you need to go to your accountant in the United States, you need to get the resale certificate, and then that means that on the same state that you got the resale tax exempt, you don't need to pay for the taxes when you buy an item, but instead of that, you need to collect the taxes from this particular seller, and that means that every quarter from your buyers, sorry, but that means that every quarter you need to file in the quarterly report and pay the taxes, because this is like a mechanism that the IRS invented in order for not doing a double handling. Now, this is the main reasons. Now, how to avoid them, and I'm guessing that you guys are already probably doing some of this. So one of the tips that I want to give you is to work with multiple accounts. Now, when working with multiple accounts, of course, you spread the risk. This is the first and most basic tip that I can give you. Second of all, don't place many orders on the same account. Like, wait a little bit until the orders will come out of pending, and maybe Yigal, you can tell the guys exactly where I can see how how orders are being out of pending?
Sure. So basically, if you go to your gift card balance, you will also see a list of transactions and gift card loads. And then you will see on the left side, you will either see the date or it will say a status of pending. So if you see that it's pending, it's like still in the processes. It's not maybe very safe to put many orders right now because there's a lot of risk if you're doing it. But if the most of the items that you ordered are already having this date there, then it's safer because it means that from the system side this was already processed. So chances are it's much safer now to start ordering other stuff. And maybe as you said, Maor, because you have now several accounts, why not use the other accounts meanwhile to do those other orders that you have coming in? And that way you can spread the risk and minimize the risk of closing the account.
Yeah. So in regarding to that and in continuation to that, I know that many people are using cloud computers or proxy and VPN in order to make purchases. Now I want to give you some advice, and this is from experience. So when you are using a cloud computer, usually the cloud computer comes with its own time zone. So when I'm using like the time zone of the computer, mainly I will get either the default, which is UTC 0. That means that it's not really a time zone. It's like the universal time zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then they try to see. Amazon is watching at the account and they see the activity. And when they see a UTC time zone, it looks like something suspicious. Mm-hmm. Also, if the time zone of the computer is different, like let's say my time zone is like, I'm in Florida and my time zone is like US minus 5, GMT
Mm-hmm.
minus 5, and then I'm doing it at like 4 o'clock in the morning. This can also become as a suspicious behavior by Amazon.
Like the mismatch of hours, your system time and the time that your browser, I guess, shows.
Yeah, and I can tell you guys, this is from my
location.
experience.
Yeah.
I can tell you that most of the guys that doing the credit cards cyber security, that means that they are actually trying to see exactly or to match like the BIN number. BIN number is like the 6 numbers that are starting on your credit card if you are using credit cards, and then they are trying to match with the IP address and location, and then they are trying to match with the clock. So think about that. They have like 3 points of match. So if I have a BIN number which is from Israel, and then I have like a time zone that is from United States, and then I have an IP address which is from, I don't know, Bulgaria, then this looks like a very suspicious behavior. So in terms of if you are using cloud computer, if you are using a VPN or stuff like that, make sure that at least it's complying with the time zones. Mm-hmm. So if you are dealing with an IP address that is in California, try to stay at least at the normal time zones. When you are placing orders, it has a lot of meanings, and I'm saying this even if it sounds like it's a very, very strict way of thinking. I know that this is the way that you guys needs to deal with in those days.
Yeah, because again, Amazon is extremely suspicious nowadays for stuff like that. So the takeaway also is, if you see the VPN, that the VPN is providing you an IP from a specific place, try to go to the system clock and just change it, right, to the space there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's a good one. But I think, honestly, the biggest tip here is to spread between many accounts. I think that's the safest way, because even if you do it right, it can also happen. And if you can do it totally wrong, sometimes it happens, sometimes it's not. But if you split, your loss is less always. So. Okay.
Next tip is, of course, about the payment method and things that are related to the billing address. So many people are afraid to put down their own credit card because they are probably using, I don't know, like a student account or stuff or something like that. So I know that many people, in order to spread to many accounts, need to use virtual credit cards. So I know it's a good solution, but I have to say that this is like the easiest case for Amazon to detect those cards. So most of the cards are being come from a a vanilla credit card, which is a Visa. So if you buy a ready to use Amazon Prime account, if you will go into the details, you will probably see it's a Visa. So I can tell you it's a Visa vanilla, and since Amazon knows how to detect like the PIN number, the sixth number, so they can understand exactly that this is like the PIN number of Visa vanilla, and it's a virtual credit card. So guys, in my experience, don't be afraid to put down like your credit card, even if you're doing it in 1 or 2 or 3 accounts.
Now, the same one?
The same one. And also, if you are able to spread between them, it's the best. So if you are able to spread between them, it's the best. So why is that? Because if Amazon will ask you for doing an address verification, you can always send them this info. And I can tell you that from the past week, they are actually opening the accounts again, which is a very happy sign, let's say. And I can tell you guys that after the Prime Day will be ending, this is your time to do a walk with Amazon trying to open the accounts. And I'm guessing that we're gonna see more and more accounts are being recovered. And I'm hoping that this will be actually the case.
All right.
More than that, I have to say this is news that I actually spoke with one of my friends. He's a lawyer, and he talked to me and explained regarding a new
policy.
No, on California Supreme Court, they provided a new judgment. I don't know how to say. I think it's judgment.
Okay.
What was going on with Amazon? So Amazon is acting like a bully, as you know. So that means that they are closing accounts, they are keeping like the balance, and many people are suffering from that. But not only buyers, also sellers. So think about sellers that they got their money stuck inside, and I have to say that California Supreme Court is actually ordered Amazon not to stall or to have their money kept inside Amazon. They need to free it and provide it again to the seller and to the buyer, which is a very good thing, because if this is something that will go all states in the United States, we can claim the gift cards. We can go to Amazon and say, hey, listen, you are unlawfully holding my balance. I'm asking you to release it, and then I will try to negotiate with them. So I'm not sure how it's gonna reflect on Amazon or how much Amazon is gonna comply with that. But anyway, let's try and see. I hope that this is encouraging news.
I just want to say we do have a couple of questions here. I think maybe we'll continue talking, and then in the end we'll address them. Or do you want to address them now?
No, I think that let's start with questions right now, because I know that many people have questions regarding that.
So that's a good idea. Let's see. Yo Maor, hi Gerasim, how's it going? Hi Evgeny, hi guys, any advice about Walmart?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, Walmart is doing a lot of issues, and if I compare it to last year, it's something that they do every time along this period, and then they are trying to release things more smoothly. But anyway, they are doing a lot of issues. This is one of the reasons why I stopped dealing with Walmart gift cards, and it's not just me. So many retailers all around the world are saying that there is issues with Walmart. because they are freezing like the cards, and same as Amazon, they are acting as a bully. They are taking the money, they don't want to refund it. They are saying some bullshit story about that this is money that came from phone extortion or some kind of bullshit story. And anyway, they want to release the funds. Now, the only way to deal with it these days is to work with again multiple accounts, because at the beginning, when you start a new account on Walmart, many of the times they will let you, the orders pass through, and then after like 5 or 10, they will probably start to ask questions or cancel orders. So at least if you are in very big need, this is like one of the first solution. Mm-hmm. Second solution is of course not the best or the optimal solution, but second solution is to have a US PayPal account, or to have at least an LLC. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the process, but actually yesterday I had two guys that came to visit my office, and we spoke about opening an LLC. They were asking for my advice, and then I just introduced them to my partner, and 15 minutes after that they had a company, an LLC, registered under the Florida state. Mm-hmm. So I know that this looks scary to you guys, but anyway, I'm always encouraging you guys to open an LLC if you are dealing with United States. Mm-hmm. But this is one of the options as well. Third options, there are many retailers that are dealing with second-hand gift cards. So Retail Me Not and stuff like that. If you are able or try to buy or purchase gift cards like that, I know that they do a lot of issues for guys that coming from outside the US, but this is also a solution. Mm-hmm. Try to use vanilla gift cards. It's actually another option for you guys. So you can get vanilla credit cards. Sorry, not gift cards.
Is it debit or credit?
It's actually a debit, but they call it a vanilla credit card. Yeah, it's not a credit because they don't give credit to anyone.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can purchase it from Amazon, so it's with a fee of $5. You can purchase 25, 50, or 200. Try to use them as well. And I'm hoping for better news, but this is like what the solution for now.
Just want to say a word regarding using a second-hand market gift cards, that when you apply them, make sure that the IP address you're using is legit United States address, and even not a VPN, and even not, they do problems with proxies as well, as I understand. So that should be very, you should know what you're doing there. Okay, we had another question there. So Evgeny, hope that answers that. Great value. Thank you, Gerasim. Oscar, okay. Could you sell gift cards of less than $100 for other countries than the USA? Thanks.
Yeah, wow. Okay, this is a good question for me this day, because we actually launched yesterday night 50s and 25s of Amazon US, and we sell it worldwide for everyone. So you can go to Triple Moss, you can purchase 50 and 25. So
okay, and it says less than 100 for other countries.
We sell to all over the world, so everyone worldwide. Okay.
He means like zones, so marketplaces.
Yeah, well, we are working on that. So we have issues with the UK cards currently, so we are trying to figure out if we can do the same also for Spain, Italy, and Germany. But I can tell you that Amazon doesn't like that we are dealing with small cards. So it's a little bit tricky. We are trying to balance that, but anyway, we're gonna check that.
Okay, cool. Okay, give me some solution about suspension in eBay, Elias asks.
Well, it's very hard to have a solution for that, but anyway, I'm gonna try to answer that as best as I can. So, and I think that it's related to the topic that we said that we are going to talk next. So
Yeah.
maybe we should start with that and then get into eBay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
go ahead.
So the next topic, which will be connected to your question, Elias, is eBay's feedback system. How does it work? And also after that, we'll talk about.
Let's keep this subject for now, and
Okay.
let's talk about the letter that many dropshippers received in the last weekend.
Mhm. So you probably mean that the message that they received that eBay recognized that they are dropshippers,
Yeah.
and that according to their policies or internal policies or proprietary stuff, they will be losing their top-rated status. And you know, before that, there was also a different message that would say that your exposure will be lower, stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's not new, and I think that it started 3 years ago, actually in 4th of July,
Yeah.
if you remember.
Oh my God.
So 3 years ago, 4th of July, eBay actually dropped everyone's limits into something
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a shock.
Yeah, it was a shock, but anyway, most of the guys overcome it, and it was mainly directed to guys that are doing dropshipping in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that I always I have to say that as business guys, and this is for you guys as businessmen. Now, you guys are dealing in a very changed environment where things are changing daily, like the sources of goods, the destination that we sell on, the rules, PayPal, many issues. Now, guys, listen, if you don't spread the risks, that means that you won't have a business in this field. It's not a straightforward business where you just go and open a shop and that's it. If you want to deal with that, I can tell you guys, go and do a private label. You will probably encounter with less and less issues and sell it on your own website.
Mm-hmm.
It will probably comply with every policy that the website has.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you're dealing with eBay and Amazon and PayPal, we have to comply with their rules, which of course are not always making a lot of sense and not logical. So many guys received emails that saying that they lost like their top rated seller and so on and so on. So guys, if you want to really spread the risk, if you want to look at this email and laugh, just open multiple accounts, because every time that eBay puts like a wall for us dropshippers, we always find like the solution how to get in from the window. Mm-hmm. So the solution or the best solution is to have multiple accounts on eBay and to use it and not fall in love with your account, not fall in love with your products. That means that every product that you have, probably maybe you're gonna change it probably in a few months. So don't fall in love with products, and try to have as many accounts as you possibly can, because this is, sorry to say, this is like the current solution. Mm-hmm. If things were stable, our account was safe, we can do our things very well, then we will probably won't speaking about this for now. But guys, don't be scared of nothing. This is an obstacle, but we will overcome it. Again, this is things that are related to the period. Mm-hmm. So if we said and discussed about 3 years ago, the 4th of July, in Israel, we call it like the Black 4th of July, if you remember. And then a year after that, we received many messages, different ones, very confusing ones. Now they are saying it out loud. Yeah. But again, guys, eBay still needs our business. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they could kill it in like seconds. Mm-hmm. And I think that no manager in the world, no CEO in the world will have the balls to actually cut or remove like the dropshipping, retail arbitrage to zero.
Yeah. Also, I can tell you from my experience, just a few days ago, one of my accounts received this message, and another account, which actually was selling much more and was connected. Those two accounts are connected, and eBay know them personally. That other account didn't receive this message, stayed top rated, and so again, this goes to say what you just said, that always spread the risks here. There's no logic in what they do. Sometimes even connected accounts, one will perform great, one will have all of eBay's anger upon it. So yeah. Okay.
Let's try to answer the Ilias question regarding eBay suspension. So eBay suspends account again for multiple reasons. I think one of the main reasons is the way that you are acting with your account. So if you have multiple returns, if you have multiple cancellations, if you have bad feedbacks, then this is one of the reasons why eBay will probably shut down your account. And again, if you're acting with multiple accounts, you're spreading the risk. You're spreading the risk for Vero, you're spreading the risk for getting more and more cancellation per account, cases, and so on and so on. So again, this is an option.
Yeah.
Now, not everyone is up to that, but anyway, if you guys want to have a healthy business, this is one of the things that you must do, and I think that this is a very good solution, at least at this point. Now, regarding suspension of the account, so I have to say that it's very, very hard to get out of suspension on eBay, because there are a few ways to get suspensions. So one of them is that they just restrict your account. You cannot sell anymore. They remove all your listings, and that means that you can only make purchases. Second is that they suspend your account. That means that you cannot either buy or sell. And there is some situation that is in between, but it's more or less looking like a suspension, which is MC011, which everyone knows. That means that eBay is asking for documents to prove them that you are actually selling a real inventory, not doing an online retail arbitrage.
What kind of documents would they usually want?
They will ask for invoices, they will ask for the names of the suppliers, maybe if you have amendments with them, contracts, and so on and so on. But mainly it's the invoices. Now, in the past we were giving them like Amazon invoices, and it was go as a use case, but as of today, I'm sorry to say that if you are gonna give them an online retailer, they will probably shut down your account and they will do the suspension. Now, I have to say, and this is maybe I'm doing like an early announcement, but as you guys know, I'm working on a very top secret project right now, and one of them is actually related to real inventory, and this is also to answer a Musai a question is asking if we know any good suppliers. So stay tuned, because very shortly I'm gonna give a very, very good solution, very easy one, and you don't have nothing. You don't need to do anything in order to get these benefits. And also, it's gonna comply with the eBay rules, and it's going to be approved by eBay, which is very, very good for us dropshippers. And by the way, we're gonna give at least a service that is similar or close to what Amazon has to offer.
Yeah, and also I just want to say that you can watch in our group, we made videos with Tai Wen and also Ecom Tom, and they're talking about some suppliers that are other than Amazon, how to find some ideas. So I'm not going to give you some specific ones right here, but you can definitely find them even simply just searching Google or searching sites that have like directories of suppliers and searching for items there, seeing what suppliers have the stock that we want, so on and so forth. Go look at the videos. I think they're very interesting for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say just be careful about retailers that asking you for a subscription.
Yeah.
Many of them
money.
many of them are asking you a subscription in order to get into the inventory, and then you get into the inventory and you discover it's worthless.
Yeah.
So
Not competitive.
yeah, not competitive pricing. So guys, if it's something that that you are looking to deal with, try to at least get a trial period where you can see the pricing and you can look and feel like if you can sell enough.
Mm-hmm. Also, just one thing that I wanted to say regarding Musi's, no, actually it was the question previous of Ilias. So one thing that works for me a lot is just calling eBay time and time again, like talking to them, open my account, and dealing with several people. Like sometimes they have shifts in the United States, so your phone is directed to the United States call centers. Sometimes they go to the ones in the Philippines. So you can find some different styles of talking with them and convince them to do stuff. Like it depends. It relates to feedback removal, zero removal. Sometimes even if your account is closed. For example, I had one account that was missing a lot of payments for the store subscription, and they would have like 5 or 10 times reminded me of that, and I just didn't pay attention, and they closed the account. So when I called one time, they said it's permanent. When I called next time, they said, okay, let's pay now and we'll open it for you. So things like that can also happen, and just consistency and don't give up.
Yeah. Two very, very short story to summarize it. I have a friend that he got all of his accounts shut down. All of them was connected. And he called over and over and over to eBay. And one time, one of the guys from the Philippines actually opened his account. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, look, it's very funny because I'm a guy that, my friend said, he's a guy always giving up and never calling eBay because he doesn't have like the energy to do that, and they opened it. Yeah. So this is one story, and the second story that I have to say is related actually to PayPal. So I have a very good friend that he lives in Bulgaria, and we were in contact every time. In the last month and a half, we're discussing his PayPal account being shut down. And I tried to help him with my connections with PayPal, and I contacted a few friends of mine, and then in PayPal, of course, and those guys in PayPal said, well, listen, it's a lost case, don't try to even open it because it will never happen. And then after a month and a half where he really insisted and called like the customer support and everything, they opened his account and it was awesome. So never give up.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Okay, great. So let's go to the next topic. Basically, we wanted to talk a little bit about feedback, right? Do we want to talk about it?
Yeah. Let's talk about it because I think that we discussed a very big topics such as Amazon closed accounts, suspensions. Let's talk about nice things. Let's talk about feedbacks.
Okay.
So, Igor, do you want to explain how the feedback mechanism works on eBay?
Yeah, I will try because it has a little bit of math there. It's pretty simple, but there are some nuances there. So basically, you have the feedback score that is the percentage. You have the feedback. Actually, the score is the number that you have, the number of positive feedbacks minus the negative feedbacks, and then you have the feedback percentage, which is your positive feedbacks and divided by your positive and negative feedbacks. Is that correct? I don't think the neutral feedbacks are counted.
No, they are not counted. Yeah. It's like you said, it's the negative divided by negative plus positive.
Yeah, like the positive divided by negative plus positive. Yeah. And also what it is important to remember is that in a 12-month period. So it means that let's say you recently had no sales, but you have some feedback, some bad feedback from the past, you'll notice, and that's something I noticed recently on one of my accounts, that because the number of positive feedbacks, because you didn't have a lot of sales, it goes down, every negative feedback has more effect, more power. So you can get to a situation where like you have only 96% positive feedback and stuff like that. So that's something to remember. One thing you can do about that is buy a lot of cheap stuff. That's something I did when I started out. I would buy stuff from China. You can sort things from price low to high. Usually those big sellers have automated systems to give you feedback once you paid them. So that's one way. But basically that's your feedback score and how it's calculated.
Yeah, but don't buy from the same seller because it won't count as a feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very good insight regarding feedbacks, and this is something that I wanted to share with you guys. So you probably noticed that some of the guys that when you go into their feedbacks, you can see exactly what was the product that they received the feedback on. Now this is a very good tool for guys that they're doing competitor research. They actually go into your feedback resume, and they are trying to fish all the information regarding the items that you sold.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in order to avoid that, when you are listing the product, click on private listings. So private listings will keep you safe. That means that people cannot see exactly what is the product that you actually sold. So in this way, there is no point for them to know or to have the products that you sold, and they cannot steal your things. Mm-hmm. So anyway, this is at least my 2 cents regarding feedbacks.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of an extra challenge for them. But because if they use some software, for example, I don't know, Therapic or whatever other software, this software probably will show some information.
Yeah.
Also, what I wanted to say about that, this is maybe a lesser effect, not as a positive effect of competitors not looking at your products, but it also means that people who are potential buyers and they want to see what kind of good feedback you receive, they won't be able to see the item, and maybe if they were otherwise inclined to buy it, they won't have the option for it. But I don't think that this is such a big effect. I don't think it's really, So it's a good thing to do.
Great. Next topic.
Okay. Let's see if we have any questions yet. Any more questions? So Musi says, talk about Amazon closed accounts, please. Well, we talked about it a bit earlier, so if you want, you can rewind it back and you'll see some insights we have. Also, if you want, after this live session, you can write in the comments a specific question and we can answer that, Maor and I and other people in the group. Oscar says, is it recommendable to use software to automate the publication of products on eBay? Recommend any? Okay, so he basically asks monitors, right, and listers.
Yeah, I hate the word monitor because this is a word that actually is being used extensively in Israel, only in Israel.
Yeah.
But let's say software, because a monitor is only a very small portion of what these softwares are doing.
Because it has a listing also, and also automated orders sometimes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many people have a myth of being flagged by eBay because of using all kinds of listers, softwares, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that you guys probably read about it in the Facebook groups, but this is at least my perspective, and this is what I think regarding that. So I think that you are not being flagged because of using softwares. Because anyway, there is no point of doing this kind of business if you do it manually. There is no point of it because you will probably don't make a lot of money and you're gonna scrape just probably a very small portion of this option. So you must use some kind of software in order to reprice your item, or at least change the stock. Yeah. Now, people are starting to say, okay, so maybe it's related just to the lister, but not for the repricing. So I'm guessing that the lister doesn't influence on anything, and I told you, and at least in my experience, I at least checked it on more than 25, I think it is, 25 accounts that we checked and listed items on, and I can tell you guys that there was no difference in between those that were listed with softwares and the ones that we were listing without softwares. So anyway, in regards to that, I think that this is not an issue. Now, and if it was an issue, I can tell you guys that just lately I started a journey with eBay to have a lister that lists items for my stock, and I can tell you that they approved it immediately, and they say it's not an issue with listing items or stuff like that. So if there wasn't some kind of an issue, then it wasn't. But I think that what makes your account flagged or removing like the exposure is mainly the way that you are running your accounts. This is mainly like the issues, and other things that can be related to the time period, to many other changed reasons.
Like Vero and late shipments. By the way, late shipments and the no tracking number is a very, very big sign for eBay to say, okay, there's someone who's not very professional here. Maybe we don't want to expose him too much. I also want to say regarding the listers, why you shouldn't be afraid using listers. The biggest companies that sell on eBay, even brands like Best Buy and others, I think Overstock as well, have their own listing templates. They would never do it manually. Like, they have these listers, they upload the tens of thousands of items, hundreds of thousands of items. So that's never an issue, that's for sure. Other things we can speculate on, but that's pretty straightforward here.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I can tell you that I have accounts that I listed things manually, and then the accounts was flagged. So don't be scared of it. I think that this is one of the reasons, and it actually relates to some conversation that I had. So I have a friend that used to work for eBay in Israel, and this guy was actually in a very good position in getting, like, let's say, or to know information from the inside. And he told me, well, listen, there is a parameter on eBay that measures the user experience. So if the user experience, because eBay did like a very big survey, and one of the conclusion of the survey was that if a user experiences a very bad experience on eBay, what they normally do, they never come back again to eBay to purchase products. Now, the CEO of eBay, think about it. If you are the CEO of eBay and you listen to that, you're saying, okay, if someone gives a very bad user experience, then we want to shut him down. So what I want to say regarding that is that they have a parameter of user experience, and if you probably cross this threshold, then eBay will probably flag you. Now, this is related I think, very straightforward into, first of all, the number of cancellation, the number of cases closed without seller resolution, returns, late shipments, and so on and so on. So I'm guessing that this is one of the things, and this is probably why eBay also in their seller dashboard added also all the parameters in regards to how you are performing in comparison to other people in the same category, if you in percentage, and you probably saw these kinds of emails, and they are saying if you are doing well, if you are doing like bad, and if you are exceeding. And us dropshippers, we never hit like the best threshold. So mainly that's it.
I see. Okay, so that's a good comment here. Gerasim, thank you. We have a lot of compliments here from Gerasim, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
we can talk a little bit about other stuff, but I think because the time is closing in, maybe we'll give some time for questions if there are.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so if you have any questions, first of all, if you're now live and you see this video, click the like button so we'll know that you enjoy and receive good value from it. And also now is the time to ask any other questions that you have. So we'll give you a moment to just type in the questions and we'll look at them. And after that, we'll wrap it up. So for now, we'll wait a little bit.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit while people are just typing. And say that, guys, I think that you can influence the way that this dropshipping news looks like. So if you have topics, issues, things that you want to learn, hear about, discuss about, this is a very good and open, I think, way for us to introduce things. So feel free to ask anything. Feel free to come up with new topics. We are here every week. And you know what? I'm gonna say that. By the way, I'm traveling very soon to Morocco, and I think that maybe if we have time, maybe we can do a very good, nice live where I will be in Morocco and you will be here in the office waiting for me with the lights off and stuff like that.
Yeah, very romantic. Yeah, but yeah, I think we have a lot of useful information here that I never heard something similar from other places. And maybe for you, you know some stuff, but some little stuff maybe make you think or make you know some bit of important information that can upgrade your business in the dropshipping world. So that is very useful. So Gerasim again says, why are you revealing all the biggest secrets? Because I think I think maybe you have also an answer for that. The power of community, of people working together is better, because even though there is competition, of course, but if we work smart, we can always find new ways to compete in such a way that it won't put the prices down, but it only will make us look better in the eyes of eBay as dropshippers. We're more professional, as Maor said, that they won't have poor customer experience and then close our account. So I think this is only a positive change for us. And always the person who works hard, who opens and treats this as a business, as Maor said, opens even an LLC if need be, they will succeed. So we're not afraid to reveal those secrets. That's our pleasure.
Yeah, I can tell you that along the years I've met with so many sellers. Everyone was saying, I know the secret of crashing eBay, crashing Cassini. I have the secrets how to make huge profits. And then
by my course.
Yeah, by my course usually. And then after 3 months, mainly they change like their ways or methods, or they just disappeared from the world of dropshipping. So I have to say that I truly believe in giving the information, because this is a way to communicate, this is a way to get back. Maybe it will release some other guys' think tips and tricks, and together we can grow as a community. So it's for us and it's for you guys, and we hope that you will always keep enjoying and participating in our dropshipping group and news. And spread the word. Call your guys, call your friends, tell them to come. We have much more secrets to tell. And basically that's it.
Okay, Maor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope it was useful for you. Next week, same time, same day, Monday at 4 p.m. Hope to see you all guys again here with us.
And in 2 weeks in Morocco.
Yes.
Okay,
Great.
guys. Ciao.
Bye-bye.